Friends, welcome to Friday's edition of the Weekday Podcast. Pastor Chuck and I are so grateful that you're part of this journey with us. Please let us know if we can serve you in any way. And hey, if you live in the greater Atlanta area and you can make it to Sugar Hill on a Sunday, we'd love to see you. We're in person at 8:30, 10, and 11:30. And of course, you can always join us at live.sugarhill.church. We spent this entire week with the prophet who had the greatest day of his ministry, and less than a day later, he wanted to die. And God didn't scold him for that. He fed him. He whispered to him. And then he gave him something small and specific to actually do. He says in 1 Kings 19, starting in verse 15, "Go, return your way to the wilderness, and when you have arrived, you shall anoint Hazael, the king over Aram, and then the son, and you shall anoint the king over Israel, and Elisha you shall anoint as the prophet in your place." And so what's interesting is God doesn't say, go save the nation. He gives them three names, three small, concrete next steps. Now, if we're not careful, we'll tell ourselves a version of this. I'll get serious once things settle down, or once the season calms, once the schedule clears, once life gives us permission to finally respond to what we already know that God asked of us. But here's the honest thing. It's usually doesn't settle down. Like life doesn't settle down. The danger was never that we'd have one dramatic collapse. The danger is quietly letting another year pass, waiting for a calm that isn't coming, and one day realizing we never made the call, never had the conversation, never went back the way we came. Not because we decided not to, but because we kept waiting for a better moment to start. And so here's the question for you today. What's your version of go anoint? Now, it's rarely dramatic. It could be one phone call, one conversation you've been putting off, one act of obedience that doesn't feel like much, that it's much compared to calling down fire kind of moments. But that's the whole point. The small next thing, done faithfully, is how you actually get back into motion. So this week, we've watched God meet Elijah in a meal, a whisper, and an assignment. Three small things that mattered more than another display of fire from heaven ever could. So this Sunday, we're going to sit with this whole passage together and go even deeper into what one small thing might be. And I'd love for you to be there. Until then, don't make it bigger than it needs to be. That's the whole assignment. One small thing done this week. Because why? Because God rarely shows up in earthquake. He shows up in the whisper. And most of us, we are too busy watching for fire to even notice. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.